Hi guys, Shannon here. Thanks for joining. This is mid-December. Actually, it's not mid-December, it's the day after Christmas. It's hard to think of it that way because it's 70 degrees outside, even though I'm in a sweatshirt. It's cooling because the sun's going down. But I am about to move back to Colorado. I've decided if I'm going to wait around for a particular job I'm wanting, I'm going to wait around in a state that I love to be in. So I'm going to be giving up my beautiful little spot here in East Texas and heading out to Colorado. Now, I've still got about 3 months of good solid cold temperatures there. So I'm doing a little project. Now, I had this tarp. As you can see, this is originally a 12 by 20, I think. 20-foot tarp. And I have cut it into 4-foot strips. I don't know that I'm going to be doing the center, what I'm going to be doing with the centerpiece, but the outside edges that had where the tie downs would normally be is going to be the where I add the snaps. So I had seen somebody else do this. 11 and 10 Can had done snaps to skirt their Airstream. So I thought I would give it a try and do that as well. So this is stage 1, and then I'm going to start to attach some snaps, and I'll show you how I do that. So I wanted to tell you real quick, in the middle of doing this, why I've gone with using snaps and a tarp. I've seen a couple options on how to do this, or other people's versions. Some people have just skirted the whole thing with Reflectix. Some people have used bungee. Some people have done other stuff. I liked the way 11 and 10 Can did theirs. I don't know if they've redone it since they did it the first time, but this is how I saw their original when they first moved in and did their first winter, I think. But I went this route for 2 reasons. One, I owned the tarp, and it was just sitting here rolled up needing something to do. This was a tarp I originally used when I had was rebuilding Mildred, and I still had some leaks and stuff like that, and I hadn't sealed the windows all the way up. So I had her under a tarp just to keep her protected, because I didn't have like a full protection thing, or a shed or something. So I still had the tarp. It was still in good shape. The other reason that I'm using a tarp as opposed to Reflectix is being in my Airstream full time, I don't have storage that I'm dragging around with, a lot of storage. And this will fold up a lot smaller. So we're looking at, she's 24 feet long front to back, give her, and add 6 feet on either end, or 8 feet on either end for crossover. So, let's say 45 feet. I can't add right now. Anyway, so let's say I'm going to do 50 feet of, actually, I guess it's going to be 65 feet, isn't it? Anyway, so I've got all that distance. Well, this is going to fold up a whole lot smaller and be able to be stored in the summer when I don't need it in one of my storage things inside the Airstream, or even in my decked box storage stuff, where 65, 70 feet of Reflectix will not be able to be stored in inside the Airstream when I'm not using it. So it's as much for space reasons as it is anything for me. So just thought I'd throw that out there. Okay, so what my plan is to take, so this is the top, let's see, I'll this last before my phone falls off. This is the top piece, of course, the corner. So I'm probably going to start in just a little bit, probably 6 inches or so, to attach the first snap. The reason being is I will overlap this one with the next piece that comes into it. The way the Airstream is set up, I'm probably going to start from the back and work, or start from the front and work back, and then do a separate third piece for the back end, because it's got to go over the tailgate, and I've still got to be able to access my water and stuff like that. So I will probably just do some kind of overlap situation between the front through the hitch. I wanted to show you which ones I ordered. I got these off Amazon, and I will put the link on there. This is what it's called, Craftsman. I don't think it's like Craftsman like the tools. I think it's Craftsman. I'm not sure. Anyway, stainless steel boat canvas snaps. and there's 50 snaps in here, sets. I've done some trial and error on some other stuff, so I don't have all 50 sets anymore. But it comes with your set and then the little thing that you pound against. And then I went to Hobby Lobby and bought a hole cutter. So it's a little set deal. It's got a blade, and then the little extra pieces will pop out there. And you just use this to set, pound your holes, right? And then these are the screw-in type. So I'll probably, if I need to make a new hole, I will and screw these in, or I'll just take out a rivet, because I'm going to be adding these along the base trim piece on mine. So I've got a base trim that sits about 6 inches above the banana wrap and stuff on the bottom half. And then these will just go in there, but they just screw in. I was hoping that I could take the screws out. I didn't know if this was a different situation as far as the snaps were concerned from what I had, but this seems to, I don't know anything about snaps. So, but anyway, this seems to work like it's supposed to. On the other project I did, I used them for my vent covers and also this just will screw into the side of the Airstream. Now these are stainless steel, so that's unfortunate because that doesn't react. Zinc coated would be better. I may put and I'll put probably some Trim Pro on each one of these to seal the hole, so that'll help with the chemical interaction. So it's really simple. You want to get a hard surface underneath you. So I'm just going to show you one, and then we'll go from there. And let's see what happens. So about 6 inches in with my hole cutter. And what that does is cuts a nice little hole for you to put, see, cuts a perfectly little round hole for you to put the snap through there. And then, because I want these to be on the front, this is your button part. It has a little post. You slide that through the hole. It will then sit, probably should clean all this stuff off. It will sit on top of this little ring. And then this other piece, don't know what this is called. This is the snap part, or the part will go into the snap. Sits on top of the post, like so. So it's gone through the hole. That goes on top. This will sit just on the underside of the button. That's your base to nail against. It has another little thing. I'm not sure what that's for, but I don't seem to need it. But that's just kind of a general set. Let me see if I can get back here. You can at least see me do it again. I really should get my different. I'm going to set up a different one. This has a little point on it, as you can see. And that sits down in that hole from the button. And just a couple taps. Alright, so this is a little snippet of kind of the process I've come up with. Sorry, puppy getting in the snaps. Process I've come up with. I'm doing a little bit of an overlap on this part. So I just went ahead and cut a little bit of a hole in the other tarp, and then laying it over, and then doing the snap so it just snaps through. Okay, I'll cut down here to wrap around the gas line, and then I'll probably use duct tape just to kind of reinforce these edges. I came across here, put a snap, and then to get around the trailer, I just cut out a chunk of the tarp. Once again, I'll use the duct tape probably to kind of reinforce those edges so they don't fray. And then just come up here and place my snap. Once again, probably put a little Velcro strip, a little square there. And then what I'm doing is I'm just putting the snap where I want it. I'm using a 9/64 size bit that seemed to be the perfect one for the screws I have. I believe I showed you this screw set earlier, but just in case. This kind of comes in pretty good, so it's got 50 of the screw-in snaps and then 50 of the other little parts. It also comes with the little doodads that you need to tap it together. So far, it's going to be plenty. I have misplaced my other box, so hopefully I've got enough of these. If not, I'll get some more. But these are boat canvas Craftsman stainless steel boat canvas snaps, 50 sets, 3/8 inch socket with 50 pieces, okay, and 50 caps. So comes with a setting tool, blah blah blah. I think it costs like 15 bucks, but I'll put the link. Anyway, so Real Scientific. So needless to say, I'm going to have to mark which tarp goes on which side, which it should be pretty obvious when I take apart, just based on how things are set up. So Real Scientific method. I'm just placing the snap where I want it. Let's go over a little bit and just picking a spot in the center, drilling into the trim. This front piece is a little bit extra reinforced because it's got several layers here, but all of my wiring is above it, so I'm safe. I'm switching out. Now I'm putting a little dab of Trim Pro in each one of these little holes. I don't think they're going to leak, but I'm not going to chance it. Also, because these are stainless steel screws and stainless and aluminum don't love each other, it's also going to help kind of coat that screw a little bit, I'm hoping, so we don't end up with any extra corrosion. Screw it in. I'm going to ultimately end up having to redo and repaint all this, so not worried about any Trim Pro on there. And then just snap it on. Now some of these, the first time they go on, don't want to go on as easily, so just give it a little tap to kind of loosen up the things the way they should. There we go. Like I said, I'll put a Velcro, and that's pretty much how I'm doing that. And then I'm just going around using that Real Scientific method of placement. I put all of these snaps on 18-inch centers, so that part, of course this one is no longer on 18-inch, but it was 18 to 18. Oh wait, no, this one is the original. So that was 18 to 18 to the next one. And I'm just wrapping around and placing it in the next spot and continuing the process all the way around. It's taken about 30 minutes per tarp to do, and it took about 15 minutes to get all the snaps in. So super quick. Now I'll show you the finished process in a minute, or finished product. Anyway, thanks. All right, it's all skirted. I'll do a quick walk around here. I've got to let the snaps under the door dry a little bit because they aren't quite as tight as I'd like. But it's going to go all the way around. My leftover paddle from my kayak. A few things I got to throw away. When I don't have it all tucked in underneath, because really it's not really cold enough for me to need this. This is all just getting ready for moving to Colorado in a couple weeks. And then it's a little tricky down on the end, and of course it'll be a little cleaner looking when I don't have my sewage, my drainage out all of the time. But, and covering up the bumper and all that was a little tricky, but needless to say, it's all wrapped up. So thanks for checking in. I hope this video is helpful. I know it's not a project for everybody because it does require drilling more holes into your Airstream than you probably had, but this is home for me, so I have to make it adapted to my living situation as opposed to just, you know, camping trips and stuff. So if it wasn't for that. I probably wouldn't be adding screws to the trim, but I don't think it'll affect it too much. So anyway, hope you liked the video, and be sure to let me know if you have any questions. Be happy to help, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.